Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Pillai Center Practice YouTube here on Saturday, June 12th, 2021. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be of service and support in these weekly calls that we have together as a global community. And every time we come together, we find out about the power and the energy behind time. So not only do the hours go by in the day, and the days go by in the week, and the weeks go by in a month, and the months into a year. So that is happening. Time is going by. But what's the energy? What's the intelligence? What's the secret behind the time ticking by? So Powertime, as Dr. Pillai has shared, is all about knowing what's happening in the celestial realms and then applying that into your everyday life. So here we are together to find out what's happening this week ahead. So my name is Sucharita. For those people who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. You're welcome to say hello and where you're from and start chatting on the chat. Radha is here and she will be answering your questions, and also I will respond to your questions, your comments, your shared experiences as we move into this practice today. So it's interesting because my light is doing something funny here. Okay, here we go. So it's about the light. There's always omens. So the light is represented by the sun in our solar system. And every planet, including the Earth plane, or the Earth, revolves around the sun. So it goes around and around the sun. And that's what helps us to understand time and how it ticks by. So the sun moves into a new zodiac position. So a new star constellation or a new relationship with the other planets once every 30 days. So the sun is now currently in the sign of Taurus, and that's the natural second house of the zodiac, and it represents money and everything related to second house matters, such as family or taking in anything through what we eat or what we drink, or perhaps even those vices that we have, smoking or whatever it is. So and our speech as well. So what we say to ourselves or what we say to others or what others say to us. So whatever we take in through the mouth is all about the sun. So if you look back in the past 30 days, what have your thoughts been? Have you noticed that you're paying attention to your finances, or you aren't paying attention to your finances and now it's a little bit challenging? Or what you're taking in through the food or the drink that you take in on a daily basis. Is it nutritional, or is it something that's harming you? And you're taking a look and, my goodness, I better change those behaviors or those habits, and make sure that I'm taking in nutritional substances that are going to feed my body, mind, and soul and energize me rather than drag me down. So the sun represents our soul, and our soul wants to connect with others. So the sun right now in the second house, only for a couple more days, can bring up family matters. So issues or fabulous times related to the family. So it's also about educating yourself as well. And education can be technical education, so you get some training, and especially during COVID time, maybe we're going to have to go online and do our business versus opening up a brick and mortar store. Or maybe we're not going to be going to an office building anymore, or any other kind of job place where we are having to take transportation to get there and then spend the day there and then come back and be at home. Now our office is in our home. And we're doing our work virtually. So that's what it could be. And that's related to the money as well, because we do something to earn money by the hour, by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year. And sometimes we have salaries, sometimes we get paid commissions and so on within a specific amount of time. So you can see how time and money and energy are all related. So if we have a lot of energy, we have a lot of optimism, we're clear in our thinking, we will make good decisions about how we're spending our time, our money, our energy. So now the sun is going to be jumping into a new sign, and that's going to be happening on Monday, June 14th. And it is going to be coming up into the sign of Gemini. So Gemini is the sign of the twins. And you can see the one twin is a male, and it has a club. And the other is a female, and it has a harp or a musical instrument. And what that represents is, are we banging away? Are we really working hard? Are we like hammering at our life? Or are we in harmony and playing music and so on? And sometimes as a human being, we might be doing a bit of both. So once we understand that those are the two kind of opposing forces, a masculine, assertive, aggressive even, or destructive, we don't want to be there, but it can be. And the feminine, which is receptive and harmonious and melodious. Energy, the sun transiting there for the next 30 is going to be telling us, hey, get into balance, get into harmony, find out what it is that you want to do. It can also be a time where we're being pulled in all kinds of different directions. So when the sun goes into Gemini, you can do multitask, because Gemini is also hands. So hands-on, anything you do with your hands, talking with your hands, doing things with your hands, typing with your hands. Everybody's typing away on their smartphones or on their computers, your laptops, your tablets, whatever that communication device is. We're tapping using our hands. So we can be also using our hands to make things. So we might find that we're really creative. We might start to do some writing. So it can be, because Gemini is a sign that is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of writing, communication, internet. Internet is the way we communicate across social media and so on. So this is a time period for the sun that is going to wake up our soul. So here we're getting to the juicy stuff. Oh my goodness, all this astrology. So astrology, as Dr. Pillai says, is the study of time. And how do we know how to study time? How do we know how to navigate with time? And it is learning about the planets and how they're impacting our lives. So you don't have to know all the degrees of planets and things like that. You can do that. You might get interested in diving into astrology. You might start out with a live astrology consultation, which is something that we all recommend that you do. It's so, so important to find out what your GPS is. So we have to find out what our roadmap in life is, if we haven't already. And then we know how to navigate when we ask someone who can look in, they're a Vedic astrologist, someone who can throw or shed some light on your situation and what planets are going to be impacting you at any given point in time, as well as when there's big transits happening. So the sun representing our soul, just like the moon represents the mind, the sun represents the soul. And the sun also represents our father or authority figures. So it's kind of interesting that the sun is transiting right at the time when it's going to be, we're celebrating Father's Day. And father, if we didn't have our father, we wouldn't be born. So our soul decided to come through, good or not so good relationships with our father. He is the one who said, all right, let's come together with the mother and then create us. So once again, whether your father is here or he has passed away, or he is not, you don't have a good relationship with him, or you had a good relationship and it's not so good, or it's a combination of all of that. It's the time period in life every year where we get an opportunity to pray for our father's soul, because that is connected to the sun, and the sun's energy is connected to our soul's energy. So the Son, the soul, the Father, all connected. And no matter what we say, we cannot run from it because it's in our genes. We share the DNA of our Father. So once again, you may not know your father. Maybe you were adopted, or you were born into a situation that you don't know your father. Maybe he passed away before you were born or shortly after, and you didn't grow up with him. Like, you will perhaps look at a picture if you have one and see yourself through the traits that are expressed. And you'll say, oh my God, I'm just like my father. I look like my father. My nose is like my father's. My ears are, or my hands are, or my behaviors are, because people tell me you're just like your father. So we can't run from it, really. We can resolve inside of ourselves that we will pray for the soul. And through honoring the Son, it will purify all that karmic mosh pit of tragedy, or some people go through tremendous challenges. I know for myself, I had a very tumultuous relationship from my father from day one. And in fact, I was given away for a few years in my first few years of life. And then I had to go back and with my father, my family, and it was not a pleasant experience. And now I'm going to be going and visiting my 90-year-old father tomorrow during Sunday. So it's quite amazing how being on this journey with Dr. Pillai, regardless of what happened in life and all the things that you could think that you would never, ever forgive or forget, it does happen when you purify it from a higher perspective, a higher level, a higher way of being, expressing your connection in that divine way. Because here we all are on this spiritual path. And if we truly are evolving and truly are doing things to help ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves, and that's at the level of the mind, the body, the soul, the astral bodies, the energy bodies, and that is connected to the Father, because the Father is the soul and the Father is the Son, and that is what lights us up. So when we're thinking about ourselves, even now, check it out inside of yourself. What are your thoughts about your father? Maybe there are people who say, hey, I love my father. I love hanging out. I love it. I miss him. I wish him well. I'm praying for him all the time. It's so fabulous. And that is a tremendous blessing. And look at your life, and perhaps you will see that your life is pretty blessed. And not to say that people like myself or some people out there who have had challenging relationships with the Father can't have a blessed life. At the level of the soul, when you're praying for the soul and you keep committing to purifying all the challenges, everything that you inherited through the paternal lineage, that's the father side of the family. We share those sins of the father, so to speak, and as well as on the maternal side. But we're talking about the father this week because Father's Day is coming up and the sun is transiting into Gemini. So it's all about communication and how we're communicating to ourselves. Are we ratcheting the old story, or are we saying, you know what? I need to get the blessings, and I'm going to do whatever I can to honor the Father. So through Tarpanam, you can, which is an ancestral offering, you can free up that challenge that has been passed on through the generations, through the Father, and then to you, and then you on to your children. So regardless if you're a male or a female, son or a daughter, it gets passed on, and it can express itself in the next generation. That's where we want to stop it. So we also want to get blessings that are there and get more blessings. So perhaps our father is very prosperous and a very good person in our lives and in society, and we want to manifest those traits or express that kind of interpersonal relationship with anyone we are meeting, and that's a blessing from the Father. So once again, regardless if your father is alive or not, meaning that he's passed on, he's dead, he's no more, then, or you have a good relationship or a not so good relationship, like Dr. Pillai says, reach out. You can write to your father. So you can write a letter and never send it. You can write an email, put it in your draft folder. You can send it and pray that he receives it and all will be well. And I've done that over the years, and it's been a hit and miss. However, at this age and stage, he's 90 years old, and he's even said now that I hope that I see you because I don't know when I'm going to see you next. And it's literally that. We don't know. So we're taking advantage of it. And even though we have to travel a great distance to go and see him and be with him, a couple of my siblings who are here in Ontario, Canada, and then we'll go from Toronto and meet up with him. And we're just going to have a lunch, and we're going to sit in the sun and enjoy the soul, the sun, the energy, and just see and be with wonder. And I don't know what my other siblings are going to be experiencing, but I'm praying. And the Tarpanum, I believe, truly, honestly, over the years, I've been participating in year-long Tarpanum programs where this ancestral offering is done in many power spots throughout India, including the Ashraved Remedy Center in Chennai, India. And I'm doing my own daily Tarpanum. So all those challenges that I saw, the patterns of all the struggles coming through multiple generations. So going back to the grandparents, the great-grandparents, the great-great-grandparents, all the aunts and uncles in between, and all the siblings and people who really struggled. And that struggling and interpersonal challenge, communicating with one another, having loving relationships, it didn't exist. And now it does. And this is the good thing, because our kids now and their kids are experiencing none of that. So it is something that you might want to take a look at. And Ashraved or Pillai Center has different ways to honor the ancestors. However, I would highly recommend going into the year-long program, because you will see it every day. You will feel better and better and better. And not only you, everyone in your family, because it's at the gene level, it's at the DNA level. This Tarpanum is an ancestral offering that allows the ancestors to be free of whatever their harms and hurdles. And remember that ancestors are people who have passed away. They're dead. They're no more in this physical realm. So they're stuck because of the challenges they went through. Maybe they weren't so good. Maybe they had a lot of addictions, and there was physical abuse and mental, emotional abuse, like it was in our lineage. It was just like, it's so rampant. How is this ever going to be healed? How is this ever going to be resolved? And yet it is. And so it may not take, 25 years, because I've been studying with Dr. Pillai for 25 years, but this is a different time now. So more and more people are doing it. So it doesn't take as long of a time. If more and more of us around the world are committed to our ancestors and honoring them and understanding that when we help them, we get tremendous blessings. So it's very lovely. And people on the spiritual path, they say, I'm doing all these mantras, I'm doing all these meditations, I'm taking these courses, and why isn't my life changing? Well, guess what? Even all the sages, the saints, the gods, they have to come back to the earth plane during these power times, such as Father's Day or when there's a sun transit, and they have to honor the ancestors, because the earth plane is the place to do remedies. So don't wait till you're dead to try and get the descendants here on the earth plane's attention. Go do it ahead of time. Pave the way for you to connect with these realms, free up your ancestors, and get the blessings. So gods and saints and sages and siddhas and anyone who is on the spiritual path, spiritual teachers, guides, they have to come and honor the ancestors and before they can get spiritual blessings. So they're already gone from the physical world, but they can't evolve spiritually until they honor the ancestors. So we don't want to wait till we pass away that we're dead and we're no more in this physical realm. We want to do what we can do now to make sure that our ancestors are freed up. They're going to go into these fabulous realms, and then they're going to be waiting for us on the other side. And so whether you believe in that or not, it is a spiritual science, and you will feel it not only in your physical being, but your emotional state will be tremendous. You'll have these kind of pings of ideas that are like the businesses that you decide, oh my God, I was never a business person. But then you look in your lineage and there were a lot of business men or women in your lineage, and they were very successful, but they messed up in other areas of their life. So as you get that cleaned up, then all the good things, all the blessings that happen in their lives, it gets passed to you through your genes. And as Dr. Pillai has shared in Soul Genetics, there's a great course in Pillai Center Academy called Soul Genetics, where Dr. Pillai initiates you into the realm of your ancestors. And then you can easily get the blessings. So we can't push forward on our spiritual path without getting the blessings of our ancestors. So this is a great time when the sun is going to transit into a new sign. It's going to be throwing light on that area. Again, business is Gemini, communication, internet, anything to do with your communication with siblings, even, because it's the natural third house, and that's all about courage and risk. And younger siblings, although it could be any sibling-like person in your life. So whether it is whether those people are chronologically younger than you, they might be older than you, but they have the resemblance of a family member who's younger and than you, and then you treat them like your sibling because you think that, oh, I've moved away from my family and my ancestors are far, far away from me. Oh my goodness, no. They jump into your workplace and you will see, oh my God, you're just like my mother. You're just like my father. You're just like my brother. You're just like my sister. Oh my God. Or my aunt or my grandmother, whatever it is. And you see the ancestors showing up in non-biological people, and your relationships with them bring those traits out in you. So it's like they're throwing the light inside of you, and that's shining forth. Those traits or the qualities or characteristics will shine forth. So this is what the spiritual realm is all about. It doesn't have any physical boundaries. Although when you start to honor the ancestors, honor the father, honor the traits or qualities or characteristics as the sun is transiting into Gemini, then you will be finding those qualities shining through you naturally. So like the sun when you go outside and it's a sunny day, you smile, it's bright, the clouds aren't obstructing it. Or there isn't, you're in a place where you can see the sun, because a lot of people live in various places from around the world, and maybe they don't see the sun for many hours, especially during COVID lockdown. If you're stuck in a building or a house and the sun, you can't see the horizon because other buildings are in the way. It's tough. It's like you feel that drain of energy. So remember that the sun also makes everything to grow on the earth plane. So it creates the photosynthesis and the plants grow, and then we eat the plants, the animals eat the plants, we eat the animals, and it helps to make the world go round. So without the sun, there's no intelligence, there's no creation, there's no life, there's not too much happening. So sun in Gemini is going to wake up that intelligence that perhaps we haven't grasped. So put it into your hands when you are honoring the sun, which we'll do today. We're going to do a little bit of a mantra practice, and then we're going to honor the 5 elements inside of us that represent earth, water, fire, air, and space, or ether, or the Akash. Everybody's heard of the Akash, the Akashic records, where every thought we've ever had is kept in that spiritual library, if you will. So the recording of all our thoughts from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime get pumped in to this lifetime, and then we select those thoughts. Our brain grabs onto it. It's a receptor. receptacle, and then it will receive those thoughts, and will resonate with it. But if we're resonating with it and it's yucky, it's like it's not going to be a great experience. So we have to wake up our soul to really throw the light on those Akashic records, and then we say, no, 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 I don't want that, I don't want that, I want that. So you can maybe pray to the sun, pray to your soul, and any spiritual practice that you do is actually food for your soul. And then the sun in Gemini is also, being the third natural house or sign of the zodiac, it's all about risk or having courage. So people who say, oh, I never thought that I would go into business, this is the time to do it, or consider doing it. Maybe those thoughts will start to come to you, and it will feel very natural and exciting for you. You'll feel a little bit nervous. And I always say to people, when you feel nervous, it means your nervous system is firing up. Your brain is like, yeah, let's do this. And it's something that you haven't felt before. So of course you're going to have an emotional charge, because it's like, whoa, what is this feeling? And you're going to feel a little bit nervous, but that's going to be great, because it's going to get you going. It's going to light you up. And I just saw the flower drop off Dr. Pillai's head. So he's saying, all right, enough of this now. Talk about the spiritual father. So the spiritual father is, in our case, Dr. Pillai. He's an authority figure, and he governs the spiritual realm in which our souls are attracted to those teachings. And he's lighting up our souls to be in the right place at the right time, and to receive the teachings or participate in something that's going to enliven our soul and light up our lives. So when we honor the sun, we honor also the spiritual father. So, and it's interesting because this is a yantra here, which is like a machine. It's a sacred geometry that it's called the 5 symbol yantra, and it's represented by the sun in the middle, and then there's other symbols around it. So the sun is what Dr. Pillai is. He's running a major dasha period, or the sun is influencing his life right now. So he's like this big sun in our life, shining on all of the areas of our life, and saying, hey, come on, wake up, connect with these spiritual teachings, throw some light on that, and then that will help to diffuse the darkness or diffuse the challenges, the struggles. So spiritual science is for real. It's a part of our being, and it is something that we can't deny. When we're working with the mantra for the sun, Om Suryaya Namaha, so you can see the image of the sun here, and then there's the 7 horses. The 7 horses represent the chakras, the 7 chakras that are psycho-spiritual centers. They're stacked up on top of one another in our spine. The spinal column of our subtle body that corresponds to our physical spine. So our backbone in our energy body, our subtle body, it's non-physical, has these wheels, these energy wheels, or chakras, they call it in Sanskrit. And when they are spinning and when they're radiating out, it's like the sun radiating out rays of the sun, sun's light, intelligence. And the sun is really great for our mental health, our spiritual health, our physical health and well-being. So the blood, the circulation, the nervous system, anything that lights up and is a system in our body, our physical body, or even the way we process information and the way we process our emotions. Are we even? Are we in harmony? Are we lit up? Are we optimistic? Are we positive? Or are we just pretending because that's what we have to do, but inside we're suffering and we're dark and we're gloomy and we're miserable? So it's interesting that the sun is also the father of Lord Saturn. And we talked about Lord Saturn in the past couple of Powertime practices that have gone by. So please check that out, because there's a big transit that's coming up with Jupiter and Saturn going into retrograde. So We want to find out what the karma is going to be and where our fortune, luck, and grace is. But for now, just to mention that because it's a Saturday here in Toronto, Canada, Eastern Daylight Savings Time, Saturday is the day that is ruled by Lord Saturn, and Lord Saturn's dad is the sun. And it's interesting that Saturday comes before Sunday. So the sun is, Saturn is very dark and black, or almost dark blue and black in color. And then the sun is this bright, reddish oranges, fireball in the sky. Gold is the color or the metal that's associated with the sun, as well as the number 1 is associated with the sun. Ganesha is associated with the sun, the elephant-headed being who has a pot belly and he rides a mouse, and he is right here. And he also radiates that intelligence of success. So when you pray to the sun, you're praying for all these fabulous things to give you intelligence, to give you health and wealth and blessings from the Father, and being the authority in your life and having those leadership skills or qualities. And it may not be that you are leading in a position in your life, but you feel like you're in the driver's seat and you are taking charge and you know where you're going and your hands are on the wheel and you're doing it. So Gemini is also the sign of motion. So you'll feel like you want to be in motion. You want to move forward. You want to go in various directions. You may be multitasking or having multiple streams of income. That would be cool. So Ganesha's blessings will get you there because he is this archetypal god of success. And then we also have here is Gayatri, and she's the goddess that is related to the sun's intelligence and gives the creation, ideas of creation so easily and readily to you. You feel it in your gut, you feel it in your belly, you get lit up, and that's what you want to do. So Gayatri is also the goddess that you want to pray to get the blessings of the sun, both spiritual and material blessings. Remember, we're here to have a 200% life. And that's what Dr. Pillai is all about. Be balanced. If you're too spiritual and you don't have the roof over your head, or you don't have money in the bank, or you're not able to pay your bills and eat and so on, then you're out of balance. So make sure that you come back into balance. And how you do that is to pray to your soul and say, hey, you're way too spiritual. Or could be that you're way too material in your pursuits. And then you're thinking, why should I care about my spiritual path? And then you get lost in all the desires getting fulfilled and so on. And then one day you wake up and you go, this isn't what I thought that life was going to be about. And where's my happiness? Where's my joy? Yeah, there's money in the bank and I have all this stuff, but why am I not feeling the love? So Gayatri will help you, as a mother goddess would, or motherly figure in your life will nurture your soul, your body, your mind. So we also have Vishwamitra, and everybody knows, or those people who've been following Dr. Pillai's teachings, Vishwamitra is the guru who gave the sound Brazi. So those people who are practicing Shri Brazi, just know that Vishwamitra was also the author of the Gayatri mantra. So that's kind of fun to know and bring it all together, because Shri Brazi is all about prosperity, abundance, enlightenment, that nurturing ability, the ability to create as it is in heaven, so it can be here on the earth plane. Your little piece of heaven here. So getting his blessings. And then we have a crystal Shiva Lingam, and that is fabulous to have, because not only is it a karma buster, it represents Lord Shiva's energy, and Lord Shiva is the overlord of the sun. Now, people might be asking, okay, Sutrita, you just said Lord Shiva is the overlord of the sun, but who's this here? So above, you might have to, open up your screen so that you can see this image. But this, or maybe I'll just bring it up close and personal. Here you go. So this image here, as I mentioned, you can see the 7 horses, And then you can see this figure here. That's the sun god. And then the 7 horses again represent the chakras, the psycho-spiritual centers. Then above is Lord Vishnu. And how do you know? Is because he has a conch, and I think the conch is there, and then the discus, the chakra. So Sudarshan, his birthday is coming up actually. Sudarshana is a divine being. It's an archetype. And when we honor any archetype on his birthday, then we get tremendous blessings. And what does Sudarshan do? Like a discus would, it just slices and dices. And it brings a lot of light, a lot of intelligence. So that's coming up, and we'll be talking about that next week. So this combination of how it is here from inside of us in our subtle body, represented by the 7 horses or the chakras, is controlled by the sun. So we're solar beings, meaning that the sun is going to activate the life force energy, the prana, through these chakras that are stacked up on top of one another. And when we get a handle on that, when we do the practices and we feel it, we experience it, then there's no doubt we are in the realm of the divine, and then our soul is being fulfilled. And then Lord Vishnu, who is the god of abundance and joy, and he's the money god, as Dr. Pillai says. He's also the party god. He's also the divine archetype that takes care of the ancestors. So that's how everyone is connected, and that's why it's so important for us to just explore these archetypes and explore them inside of ourselves, inside of our body, mind, and soul, and see how these show up in our lives, in our interpersonal relationships. So without further ado, that's what I wanted to share with everyone. As the sun, we have the title of this is the Father and the Sun, S-U-N, in Gemini. So the sun, the planet, the sun, representing our soul, is moving into the sign that's going to be lighting us up to communicate in a way that we just never thought we would, and to give us the courage and help us to take calculated risks, not risky business like, oh my God, let's just take a risk because the sun is moving in Gemini. It can be like that. It can be saying, hey, go gamble it away. But then you just, with more intelligence, you realize, oh, wow, I see that pattern of thinking in myself, and I've seen it in the pattern of behavior or what everyone else has thought in my lineage. So ancestors, father, there's a lot of fire labs and ways in which you can honor your father through Pillai Center or AstroVed. Get an astrology consultation. We have fabulous Vedic astrologers at AstroVed. We have a couple as Pillai Center teachers. They're also Vedic astrologers, Swamini Vali and also Lalita Barahi. We also have Vijaya Lakshmi that you'll see on the rotating banner on AstroVed, and Radha will post those links here as well for you to easily access. And then if you're signed up for the newsletter, which why don't you? Because it's free. And then you will know everything will be there that we've talked about today. So you don't have to scramble and say, oh, what did she say? Where is that? So it will all be there. And then you can click on those links and they will take you directly to those services that I've been sharing with you and talking about today. So we're going to honor the chakras by activating these the elements that make up our energy bodies, our physical bodies, and then everything else in this earth plane and on other planes as well, in subtler realms or subtler forms, even the essence of it. So we're going to log into this divine Wi-Fi, maybe it is, that this internet connection. You can't see the internet, but you know it's there because you're tapped in and you can communicate. So even if we can't see our subtle body, we can't feel it, we don't really understand it, it's happening. Just like, how do you know that we are connected? Well, here we are. Did you know how it works? Not necessarily, but here we are. So, and that's pretty much all we want to know. We don't want to spend a whole lifetime and try to figure it all out or explain it. So as long as it works, we're happy campers. So the 5 elements are represented, again, it's earth, water, fire, air, and space, ether, akash, same thing. So space, ether, akash. So those are the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And they are represented, earth is represented by food. So we've got a nice red pomegranate here. It's quite large, quite lovely, and it looks like the sun. So we're going to offer that food item. And then we have water, which is the next element. So earth, water. And then we have the ghee lamp, which is representing the fire element. Then we're going to light up a incense stick that is the herbs that are offered in a fire lab, in a big huge homa or a fire lab or yajna. It is represented by the sun. So it's going to be the herbs that the sun loves. And the incense is going to be lit up. And that's going to represent the air element, because the smoke is in the air. So it's going to clear the air. And then we have the akash. Well, how can you tap into the space? Well, you can offer flowers. So flowers get you into a different headspace, don't they? A different heart space. You feel totally different when someone gives you flowers. So you don't have to say anything. You just receive them and you go, oh, wow. So the flower petals are like a text message to the divine. They're the vehicle, if you will, that takes your prayer right to the divine. This is the alchemy. So when we have something physical to offer, then the essence or the energetic connection can be really easily felt. Or you may not feel it kinesthetically, or maybe you sense it. Maybe you have a flash, a vision, or maybe you hear something. So when we say that you connect, or when anyone says on the spiritual path that you connect with the divine in various ways, it can be that you connect with it in one way or another, or all of it, or sometimes you connect and you hear something and you don't see something. So we use all our senses. We use our 5 senses. So vision, hearing, smelling, touch, taste, and the kinesthetic taste. Kinesthetic. So through the skins, the pore of the skin, you can feel an energy. You know, when you're walking and all of a sudden you feel like, whoa, something hit me, or something piqued or tweaked my interest. And then I shifted, I turned intuitively, and then there's something happened, or you saw a sign and that's the exact thing that you needed to see, or you heard something. So we use our sense organs to perceive our life and perceive our thoughts in our life. And then when we go to that subtler level, then we perceive the godlike experience, or maybe we're going to connect with our ancestors, or maybe we're going to get some healing energy, and that will radiate out with the intention to pray for the soul of our father, whether he's here on the earth plane or not. So on other planes, he's no more in the physical body. He's dead. He's passed away. So we can pray for that whole lineage, the paternal or the father's side of the family, that lineage that we have inherited knowingly or unknowingly. We just have. And maybe that's a good thing, because here we are on the spiritual path and we have a fabulous spiritual master who is our spiritual father. He's gone before us. He has an authority. He is taking care of our souls by giving us the knowledge that we need at any given point in time. So we will honor that lineage, that spiritual inheritance, good or not so good. We're going to ask for, as we do these offerings, to bless us and to relieve the ancestors of their afflictions, so that they will be able to bless us. And then all our spiritual efforts, our meditations, our mantra practices, rituals, and so on will bear the fruits. So we've got this investment, but the return on our investment has not yet manifested a fabulous reality, because we didn't think about the ancestors. So once again, the sun represents the soul. The soul represents the father, the biological father, or your adoptive father, or whoever was a father figure in your life. And also the spiritual father, the master, can also be spiritual masters who have gone before. So they're no more here on the physical plane, but they are connecting with you. And it's a very intimate and a very natural experience. No hard or fast rules. Dr. Pillai says, whoever is giving you the message, take it. It can be gods that are pumping up into our lives this direction. Here, do this. This is where you're going to go. This is why you want to pray to me. So whoever comes up for you might be any of these archetypes that we're going to activate a connection with momentarily. So what we'd like you to do now, or you're invited to do, is to think about something that you would like to manifest, or perhaps a healing in your relationship to your father, and whether you have a good relationship or not. So ask for a deeper healing, such that you, even if you have a fabulous relationship, you want that soul of your father to call out to the lineage and say, hey, bless the descendants here on the earth plane and shower them with blessings. So we want that healing energy to come through. Not that we're going to control it, but our soul will know. Our soul that is that intelligence. It's all knowing. It's all powerful, and it is everywhere. It's on all realms, but we don't know how to really tune into it. Just like the internet is everywhere. Once we have the password and the Wi-Fi, the username and password, we're set to go. We are ready to communicate. So with that, set your intention and then let your intention go and just enjoy the process. There will be some mantras that will be posted to the chat. Please don't worry. You don't have to think about it. If you're brand new, or if you don't know what the mantras are and you've been around for a while, you can listen to this again because the recording will be here on YouTube. And then we'll also put it into the newsletter. So then you can, download that or write it out later on. So what I've done and what everyone does when the spiritual master, Dr. Pillai, says, okay, just tune in. That's all you need to do. Be present to it and receive the gifts. And then allow the energy, allow the intelligence, no matter whether you know the mantra or not yet, allow it to go deeper into you. And especially if you know it, because you will set the blocks. And so we don't even want to do that. Yeah, I know this, been there, done that. That stops you. So ask the mantra and the practice today to take you into a deeper understanding of your connection to your soul, to the sun, to all the things that we talked about, the father, spiritual father, biological father, your father who raised you, any authority in your life, any leader in your life. Maybe you have a boss who's like your father. Maybe they could even be a female boss, but they have the qualities of your father, good or not so good. So connect with all that energy that we talked about, and then feel the healing coming through, or set your intention to experience it knowingly or unknowingly. Please make it happen. And then it will start to work through you in during the session. And then could be days later where you say, oh my God, the sun's transiting, and pop, there it goes. It fully gets expressed. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to move to the side, and then I'll just bring the camera closer to the altar, and then you can see, hopefully, you can see the altar there. And then let's see what this happens here. Maybe I'll shut this off. How's that? Is that okay? So we will, here we go. We will get into a state of receptivity, first of all, because we've been coming from different things, different time zones, and doing different things. So it could be that we're a bit scattered, or we just need some extra attentional energy and focus going inside. So your eyes can be closed or you can be opening them too and just, gazing towards the altar. That's fine. There we go. But if you close your eyes, then you tune out the world. You'll be able to open them and look at the altar when we do the elementalization or puja offering of the different items. So your tensional energy can be now at the base of the spine. Imagine a reddish orangish light pouring down your legs and into your feet and toes. Now, this reddish orangish light is associated with Ganesha. And Ganesha is an elephant-headed being. He has a pot belly and he rides a mouse and he gives you success. He will help you to find a way out of your harms and hurdles. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now imagine a ray of light, a ray of the sun. This light shoots up your backbone. It pierces all the energy centers, the psycho-spiritual centers stacked up on top of one another in the backbone of the subtle body, the energy body. The ray of light shoots up the top of your skull into the space, sending out an SOS to the divine, to give you a divine Wi-Fi connection. We'll enliven the chakras starting at the base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, clear the throat. Move up to the middle of your brain, the third eye. Now float back down to the base of the spine and also the legs. Connect with the earth element and the sound na, N-A. Na, 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 na.
Move up to the belly, the navel chakra. Fill the abdomen with water. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Also across the chest and down the arms and hands and fingers. Feel them fired up. Connect with the fire element. She, 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 she. Move up to the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element or the subtle air, prana. Va, 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 va. Move up to the two eyes. Keep your eyeballs steady, still. Feel the light in your brain. Connect with the ether, the akash, space. Ya, 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 ya. Now, imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a form you're familiar with or a vast light like a sun that radiates intelligence, blessings, life force energy, prana, health and wealth, joy, optimism. Those rays of light are beaming into you. You're soaking it up from head to toe. Om Aim Reem Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Feel the rays of light, of transformation, of cleansing your soul, your body, your mind, your emotions. Connecting with Dr. Pillai's blessings, the light, the joy, the health and wealth, the intelligence. Om Aim Reem Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Feel the heat, feel the purification, feel the bliss of basking in the sun's light, radiating out, the spiritual energy radiating out from Dr. Pillai into you. Om Aim Reem Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Now, focus on your third eye, the spot between your two eyebrows, in the middle of your forehead, and then draw the energy into the middle of your brain. Visualize the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Feel the sun go deeper as you chant out loud or say the sounds out loud or just listen. The sun in your third eye. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Pause. Feel deeper the vibrations of your voice or the vibrations of the mantra, the sun in your third eye. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now bring your attentional energy into your heart, into your heart center, middle of your chest, and also your physical heart, just off to the left side. Feel your heart pumping, the blood, the life, the energy through your whole system, cleansing the bloodline through your lineage. That you share with your father. Cleansing the DNA. We'll connect with the goddess who will nurture that process to create a beautiful life, both for your father, the ancestors, and you as well. Imagine this beautiful goddess giving you the intelligence, grace, the blessings to heal your heart. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Feel the energy of forgiveness coming through divine grace, blessings, removing the ego charge, the emotional charge. Set it aside. Allow the healing in the heart to take place. Om Bhur-Bhuvaswaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Deo Yona Prachodayam. Feel the heart pumping joy, grace, blessings, abundance, health, well-being in the heart, throughout the body. Om Bhur-Bhuvaswaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayam. Now we'll call on the Siddha Vishwamitra, the friend of the people, who connected with the divine realms and brought Gayatri to the people of the earth plane and other planes. Om Vishwamitraya Namaha. Om Vishwamitraya Namaha. Om Vishwamitraya Namaha. Feel the healing energy of your body, your mind, your soul. Now we'll pray to Lord Vishnu, who fulfills our wishes, our heart's desires, healing energy, joy, happiness, abundance. Keep focusing on your heart. It has its own intelligence, its own beat. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Now we'll pray to the overlord of the sun, Shiva, who contains the 5 sounds that activate the chakras, activate the elements, giving you peace, prosperity, and enlightenment. Focus your attention on your third eye. So you're moving up from your heart into your third eye. And pray for the third eye to begin to vibrate. Feel the pressure, feel the bliss, feel the opening. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Pause and feel the third eye. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Feel it. Go deeper into your third eye. Light it up. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul. Peace to the environment, peace to the world. And just relax and slowly, slowly open your eyes when you're ready. You can just be gazing towards the altar, and we'll conclude our practice today with an elementalization or offering of 5 different items that represent earth, water, fire, air, and space. Since we have so many archetypes to honor today, what we'll do is we will ask that when we're chanting the Mula mantra, which is the mantra for connecting with Dr. Pillai and represents the sun's energy, that it will honor all these beings. So if you don't know the Mula mantra, it will be posted to the chat. And if you do, you can sing along or chant along or say it either out loud or internally, or you can just listen. The main thing is we want to feel something. We want to experience something. So we'll begin by offering this food item, this pomegranate that represents the earth element. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. We'll offer the water, representing the water element. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Now we'll offer the ghee lamp, fire element. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Next, we'll offer the incense that has herbs that honor the sun. It's made of herbs that the sun loves. It will purify the space, purify your ego, so you can receive the blessings. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. And finally, we'll offer the flowers that represent the akash or space, the ether. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Now I'm just going to adjust the camera so we'll see the image of Dr. Pillai. And we'll do the avatar arti, which is to offer the light. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhabhaya Swaha. Now, make your prayer to the divine, your soul, a prayer of gratitude. Thank yourself for coming and participating. As Dr. Pillai shares, you don't know what you just did, not only for your own evolution, but the evolution of everyone here and also the evolution of the world. So that might be a bit much to take in, but just know that you received a lot of blessings. And check your thoughts, your quality of your thoughts, the quantity of your thoughts. And then you see, oh, I am a little bit different, or I'm a lot. So feel free to share. And then slowly, slowly come back to yourselves, wrap it up with your prayers. Enjoy the spiritual energy, the subtle vibrations inside, outside, all around. Then slowly, slowly come back. Here we are back. So thanks everyone for joining. Those of you who need to go, fabulous to have you here. And you're welcome to watch the recording if you jumped in a little later. And you can pick up the tips that we shared about the sun and the father. So the father and the sun in Gemini, that's what this title of this topic is today. And the sun is going to be transiting the beginning of the week. So check it out wherever you are in the world. You can go on to Astrovid. You can get the Horror Watch. It's an app on Astrovid, and it's highly recommended. I think it's 99 cents to get the Pro Horror Watch. And then you will find out about these planets, and especially the sun, and see what it lights up in your life. And especially in its transiting sign, there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. You're going to feel this courage and bravery and this ability to connect with your father in time for Father's Day, which will be next Sunday. So we want to get the blessings. We want to be able to forgive at the soul level if we can't quite do it at the emotional or the mind or the memory level. The spiritual realms are so fabulous, so mystical, so magical. They will do it all for us effortlessly. So as long as we tune in, then it gets done. So thanks for joining, everyone. Elizabeth is asking here, which being is close to Vishwamitra on your altar? So this is Vishwamitra, and then this is the Gayatri. That's the goddess Gayatri. She represents the sun's energy and blessings, and she gives us that nurturing quality. So I hope that's the one. Or maybe you're looking at, this is the Shiva Lingam. So the Shiva Lingam, I think I showed it, but I'll show it again, is a crystal representation. There are all kinds of different ones, metal and just different gemstones, different qualities of stones. That this is the Shiva Lingam, which is the overlord of the sun, and it represents prosperity and enlightenment. So if you have that, you could just pour some water on it every day, and it will cleanse your karma and bring in more light and love and super consciousness, intelligence, and take away the sins that we've inherited, whether we knew it or not. We see it in our lives. We see the problems. So yes, honoring this CEO, if you will, or this overlord, is something that can be done every day, and to wash away the sins. And it is the overlord of the sun, so you get that intelligence naturally.
I hope that's what you were asking about, Elizabeth. So you're very welcome. People are sharing. Thank you so much for the beautiful, so beautiful for the knowledge imparted to understand better the power times. Immense gratitude, Suchita and Babaji. Awesome, Angela. That's what we're here to do, is so that we understand, we're not just chanting or praying. We want to be doing things at the right time so that we really feel connected. It's just like dialing up someone in your contacts, and then you speak to someone else thinking it's the other person, and it's like, no, it's too confusing. So you want to make sure that you have the right phone number, the right code, and you're saying the right things to the right people at the right time. That's what it is to chant a mantra, or to do a meditation or a ritual. You want to partake when it is a direct connection, and when you're aligned with their energy as they're passing through the celestial realms, then oh my gosh, I'm in a natural alignment. I am naturally logged on. I have the correct username and password. So it's super easy to understand it in that metaphor, because that's what it truly is. So you can be chanting other mantras for sure, but when these planets are transiting, such as the sun, it's going to be impacting your life for 30 days. And then it'll change into a new area of your life. So log on to the Gemini qualities and get busy, get it done. There's a lot of energy, a lot of communication that can be happening. And again, because Father's Day is coming up next weekend, connect with your father at the soul level. The soul is the sun, solar energy, sun's energy. That's what we're here doing. We're going around the sun on the earth plane. We're here on the earth, and we're going around in our own little orbit around the sun, just like the other planets are going around the sun in their orbits. And we're just doing it as a big, happy, universal family, or, and that is something so easy to see. You can see images of it as well. And then when you're really connecting with those planets, you'll feel their energy. And even if you go on to NASA, this is what I did. I was like, okay, well, okay, I'll listen to the mantras. I'll do it. Yeah, I feel something. But then science and technology and internet is allowing us to hear the vibrations of the planet. So go do that. Go log on to NASA or Google, or whatever search engine you use. You can search the sounds of the sun, or the sounds of Jupiter, or the sounds of Mars, and you'll actually hear the sound, the vibration of these planets, these stars. So it's for real, and we can feel it. So when we know what the Vedic seers knew, they knew how to get to the spiritual communication with these sounds of these, the different sounds. It's like a celestial music that's going on. So, and then there's also one of all the planets kind of singing together. So the vibrations are for real, and science and technology has caught up to be able to tap into those vibrations. And then we understand, oh my goodness, when I am saying the mantra for the sun or the moon or Mars or Jupiter, or whatever those planets are, or Saturn, then I am connecting with those divine or celestial beings. Just like we're here on the earth plane, and you can even hear the sound of earth. Now, it's kind of a scary sound. So heads up for that when you search it out. And then when okay, there's a crazy vibration of the earth. So what if I do the mantras, and those sounds collectively or cumulatively can send out as an SOS to those divine beings to help the earth plane to be more harmonious and receive blessings. So the Vedic seers, they're the ones who gave us these mantras to communicate. So that's the username and password, if you will, to have a divine Wi-Fi connection. And then you can understand it here as we are in 2021. and then finding out, oh, wow, this really is kind of cool. So you don't have to study it. You just can get access to it right away. So Elizabeth is saying, thank you. I do know the Shiva Lingam. It was the Gayatri is next to it. Right, exactly. So I'll bring Gayatri up close and personal because, well, for you, Elizabeth, and everyone else. So this is Gayatri, and she is a 5-headed. You can see she's got 5 heads and multiple arms with all these different divine objects in her hand, and the 5 heads can represent the 5 senses. So, or it can represent the 5 parts of the brain. So when we tap into the energy of the Gayatri, it makes sense that, oh my goodness, when I control my senses, when I don't like want everything that I see, and then oh my God, I can't pay for it, or geez, I wish I didn't go after that thing that I saw. I'm in trouble now. Or it can be, you just hear things and you have a reaction, good or bad, or you taste and so on. So the 5 senses will be purified and you'll be more sensible in your choice making, more intelligent in your choice making. You will be nurtured by this goddess energy. She'll bring the energy of the sun to purify your soul. So there, you can Google Gayatri or read the blogs or watch the YouTubes that Dr. Pillai has done or the different astrologers have done or written about the Gayatri. So she's really active when the sun is transiting, especially, and she will nurture the Kundalini energy because that is a ray of the sun. And so we don't want to get burned out by it. And we don't want to be discouraged by I'm chanting mantras and nothing's working. That kind of idea. She will make it come alive. So we want to honor her and honor the different parts of our brain that will be more harmonious. So we'll have whole brain or more of a holistic approach to whatever decisions we make in life. So that's using the intelligence, and then the soul is happy because all this is soul food. So this is all education of the soul. And just like we go for academic education or technical training or any kind of training to better ourselves, to feed our soul and live a soul's purpose. People always say, I want to live the purpose of my soul. Well, this is it. You're feeding your soul, quenching its thirst. So every time you participate in any of these, whether you know what's going on or not, just like I did and continue to explore deeper experiences, and I find out all the nooks and crannies of my being, and I think, oh, I'm over that, or I've been there, done that, and all of a sudden, this blast of intelligence comes through, this knowledge comes through, this wisdom. That's what Gayatri will also give you, the wisdom of the soul, and you can't think that. It is a being, and so your being. Something like a human being is being something. Those planets are being something as well. So those qualities and characteristics that you once thought you were or wanted to be, it gets purified. And then who are you now? So we're organic, we're living, we're not, this is who you are and that's it, end of story. No way. It's never ending. It's ever evolving. So having these, knowing about the mantras and knowing about these beings or these archetypal images, these energies, then we know, okay, I'm doing my spiritual path, and all of a sudden you might have a flash or an image and you go, oh my God, that's the Gayatri, or that's the sun, that's the energy, that's the little whisper in my ear, or that thing got done in a miraculous way and it must have been the sun because I was chanting to the sun. And especially at the beginning of its transit, it's like, hey, fill yourself up because you got 30 days to go. Fill up your tank. And not that you can't do it every other day. In fact, you want to. So you might want to review this, and we'll send you send all these mantras out in the newsletter. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you're attracted only to the Mula Mantra, which connects you to Dr. Pillai, it will connect you to all these archetypal beings. So very grateful. Michael is saying, great to have you here. Lots of gratitude to everyone, or from everyone here to everyone. And Gabriella here says, "Thank you so much. My hands and feet are on fire. Woohoo!" And that's a good sign because, as I mentioned earlier, the hands are what you can imagine. These chakras in your hands, these spiritual centers, these energy centers in your hands are just, they're on fire. They want to do things differently, and that's your soul saying, do this with grace and ease and blessings and spiritual energy. So you're eating, you're speaking, you're typing, you're driving, you're doing your laundry, everything you do with your hands. You shake someone's hands. Well, maybe not now with COVID, but energetically you can. And you reach out and touch someone with the hands. You heal with the hands. Spiritual healers, massage therapists, or craniosacral therapists, or Reiki therapists, they use the hands to direct that energy of the sun that will heal people. They're not doing it. That energy, that intelligence is coming through them. And then they feel it and they know it. They've trained themselves to do that, to get out of the way so the sun will come through. Their soul will connect with your soul and the healing will take place. And then the feet are that which have tremendous energy, and it keeps us grounded. So a lot of people want to space out and leave this earth plane, but then their soul says, "Oh, okay, well, just come back again in another lifetime." And he goes, "Oh, I wish I would have done it in this lifetime." So it helps you to ground the energy and then pick up the healing energy from Mother Earth and release that which is no longer serving you. So that burning can feel like, "Oh my God, the sun is really activating my soul." And then the soul is releasing things through the feet and then connecting with the earth, stabilizing you to make you feel very balanced, doing your spiritual practice, doing your spiritual path, your journey. And every step you take is perfectly in balance. You're not tripping over your feet. You're not falling down. You're steady as she goes. So that's great. Radha, who is here, Pillai Center Practice, has been posting the different mantras, so you can take a look here again. You might want to copy and paste this chat because after we're finished the live broadcast or live stream, and you may not see the chat. So thanks, Radha, for posting everything. All right, let's see. Has anyone else posted? All right. Well, I think we have shared enough about connecting with the sun's energy and then also the Father. Start now, ahead of time, so that when you get to Father's Day, you'll have resolved a lot at the level of the soul. And even if your mind can't forgive or you can't feel connected, at the soul, you have done the healing that is required. And then when you're ready to have that psychological letting go or that emotional release, it will be done in a very caring and loving way. And you will honor that connection to the Father, whether you believe it or not. Trust me. If it happened to me, it happened to a lot of people on the path with Dr. Pillai and all spiritual masters. Why do you think we get on a spiritual path? Because we've been messed up somewhere along the way, and it is a good thing. So we can thank our fathers, especially because they got us on a spiritual path for whatever, whether it was a good or a not so good relationship, it got us here. To be with a spiritual father, someone who has the authority at the soul level to know when to call us at the soul level and come and get the knowledge, the teaching, the protection, the support, the intelligence, the blessings. So call on Dr. Pillai anytime with the Mula Mantra, and then you can offer the light, whether it's a candle light or a ghee lamp or any lamp. You're doing it with your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, and you'll receive the blessings. So thanks, everyone. Please have a beautiful transit of the sun in Gemini coming up at the beginning of this week. And then also, we'll see you before Father's Day next week. But in the meantime, keep practicing and do your best to do something for honoring your ancestors. So check it out, Tarpanum, and do your daily Tarpanum. You can go on to Pillai Center and check out previous YouTubes from Dr. Pillai or any of the teachers, or here on Powertime Practice. We've done so many videos on how to connect with the ancestors. Soul Genetics is a course in Pillai Center Academy that I highly, highly recommend. Get the blessings from Dr. Pillai to connect with your ancestors, and then you will know, oh my goodness, I can do something, and I know how to communicate with them, and you will receive all this forgiveness coming through and all these amazing blessings. So, and then if you want to participate in a year-long Tarpanam program, then you will start to see the healing moving through your whole life and your family's life and their families' lives. So it's awesome. All right. Take care, everyone. God bless you all. Have an amazing week ahead, and we'll see you next time. Namaste.